Welcome to another episode of our real estate podcast, Hustle and Motivate with Cyrus and Danny.
Brought to you exclusively by the Pacific West Association of Realtors.
Well, we're back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday. Is it Thursday?
It is Thursday.
All right.
It's been one of those weeks that you have to question what day it is. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and we're excited to have Donny, how do you say your last name, Donny?
Doquisa.
Donnie's in the house.
Donny is in the house. Donny is probably one of the best, I don't know, what would I say, ad specialists in the country.
Ad specialist, all around great guy.
This is not a dating podcast, Donnie.
Yeah, ad specialist, marketing agency owner, all this.
Yeah. And we're really excited to kind of dive into more of what you do and how you operate and kind of tips and tricks for.
Yeah, I mean, social media is
yeah.
such a huge part of really anyone who is an entrepreneur. It doesn't have to be just real estate, but obviously since this is a real estate podcast, you're going to be hitting a bunch of realtors. But I guess, I feel like I am such a novice when it comes to like the social media space. I mean, I know how to post. I can do a story. I just learned how to do reels. I'm very proud of myself for that. But I think
And they're looking great, by the way.
Thank you very much. I've been trying to be really creative. But anyways, I guess the whole point is that what you do is something that's going to be a really great way for agents to level up their business and level up their reach, as opposed to just hitting the people that are on their feed. And so how did you get into this?
It all started, I've been in the creative industry for the last 12 years, and I got into photo and video. And I kind of figured, how do I take this to the next level and take my services to the next level and help more people grow their businesses? And so photo and video go hand in hand with your marketing. Mm-hmm. And so the better your photo and videos are, the better your ads are going to perform. The better your ads perform, the more money you make in revenue. So I figured that was the next skill to learn. And 2.5 years ago, I took up Facebook ads and kind of learned how to do them really well. I learned how to take over the e-commerce industries, picked up a lot of e-commerce clients, and then started getting into the real estate industry and then took it to the next level there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So who was your very first client?
Very first client.
In real estate.
In real estate.
And what'd you do for them? Bam, bam, bam.
It was actually a friend of mine 2 years ago. It was kind of like a pilot, like, let me see if I can make this happen. And they said, I've got $1,000 a month. What can you do with this? And we ran a general campaign, local campaign, and we ended up turning that into a good around 10 to 20 leads. And then I think he closed 1 or 2 deals from that. So it ended up being a pretty good campaign. From $1,000? Yeah, from $1,000. So it doesn't take too much to get started. But if you do it right, you have a good system and you have a good process going from initial interaction with the lead to where you take it from there. It's just a good system that you can rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that we're talking about this because I feel like I run my business from a very relational aspect where I'm primarily referrals, word of mouth, building and working with my sphere. But what we need to remember is that if we're going to be really successful in this industry, we need to consider, bringing in money. We need to have a bunch of different buckets. We can't just rely on one thing. So then let's just say, I get it, $1,000, helped him close some transactions. But what would you say for an agent who's maybe just getting started off, who doesn't have $1,000 a month to spend? Like, what are some things that they could do in order to help?
Great question. Organic marketing is typically where every agent finds themselves in. They're on social media. How do I get leads? What do I even do? I'm so in the weeds of the actual business. And I'm not in a position to invest into paid marketing. What can I do with organic marketing? It's a great question to ask. Reels, everybody needs to be pushing Reels right now. Do not be afraid to get on camera. And in terms of what you're actually saying in the Reels, there's 2 ways that you can really grow with Reels right now. So if you look at your reach from organic marketing, you get, let's say you post a post here and you use hashtags and you actually really take the time into looking into and researching hashtags that are familiar with your niche and whatnot. You might hit 200, 300 extra people on top of your actual organic reach. But if you use Reels, they're pushing it 300, 400% on top of organic reach right now with the Reels. So a good way to help grow that even further is what you're saying, the material within the reels. And there's two types of reels that are really performing well right now. And the first one is educational content in your reels. So giving value, or value content rather, just giving value to whoever your audience is. So that could be buyers and sellers guides on reels, things like that. Educating your audience. It's going to help people. It's going to help build know, like, and trust factors for you.
That.
And the other thing is so educational / value content, or entertainment content. So creating comedy, getting people to laugh. This is going to drive more attention to your brand and get more people to organically start wanting to be pay attention to you.
When you get the entertainment, are you seeing like them coming back and then seeing the educational content and it compounding?
Yeah, so a lot of people are choosing one or the other. A lot of people are really funny but don't have much value to bring to the table. A lot of people have value to bring to the table but don't have a personality. And so if you can find that balance between both and just let your personality shine while also let your authority shine, that's where you're going to attract the most amount of attention to your brand and experience organic growth for free, essentially.
I love that, because one of the things that I learned when it came to social media in the beginning was like, because I only have one Instagram. I don't have like, a business Instagram and then a personal Instagram. I'm just kind of like, this is who I am. This is my life, but I do real estate. So I think that it's really important that you say you have to have a really well-rounded brand, if you will, for who you are, because people are going to come to my profile because, I don't know, I'm going to post pictures of my kids or activities that we're doing. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I do real estate and I'm also really, really good at it. And so by having both of those things in there, it has the know, like, and then the trust factor, because clearly you're good at what you do, but they like you because of maybe entertainment or because of some of your other values that you have outside of just selling houses.
And the overall bottom line is just becoming more relatable to the people who are trying to pay attention to you. So building relatability while also establishing authority builds that know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah, I feel like right now, like my niche, like my relatability right now is that I am building a business. I am growing a family. I'm a young mom. And it's like, it's the people who are, I guess I'm not that young anymore, but I'm a mom.
Yes, you are.
I'm a mom. And so it's like my niche right now are those, either stay-at-home moms or moms building their business growing family, building businesses. And, so a lot of my social media, plays on that. But I do need to be better about the education portion of it, because all of my reels, I've been just trying to be funny and just get people to, draw them in. I've only done 3 of them, but I want to say they're pretty good.
They are pretty good. I've seen them. Yeah.
But I do need to be better about the education portion of it.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that you brought that to my attention.
And building on top of that, if you think about it, that's the brand you're building. That's your brand.
Yeah.
I'm the mom. I'm relatable, but I'm the. Can I cuss on it?
No.
I'm really good at real estate.
Thank you for asking. We would have had to cut it out.
Would have had to
So double down on what you're really good at, and that's going to help build your brand, expand your audience, and build that know, like, and trust factor even further. So
I love it.
That's awesome.
So Cyrus, you do a ton of more than I do, at least, like online, like advertising and stuff like that. So what are some of the things that you do to grow your business?
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna touch base with Donny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm a big believer in the same thing. Is this business is all about relationships. Like at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. But like every single person says, friends and family, friends and family, friends and family. And I'm like, okay, well, what happens when you run out of friends and family? You got to make more friends and family. So like, I believe like add into the pipeline these online leads that helps. And then I create relationships with those. So I'm just, instead of going out and being at an event every single week, maybe I'm hitting events every other week, but I have ads constantly flowing new leads in. The really cool thing with Donny, I use Donny for a lot of my business, and he's amazing at what he does. Is like when these ads are coming in, when these leads are coming in, he set it up in the fact that like it goes into my systems, like my CRM and things like that. Where like I think that online lead gen is great if you have a system to back it.
Have to have a system.
I'm glad that we touched on that because I was going to ask you because I am such, I mean, I don't do this, you know, at this part of my business. And so I like that you put it into a system because otherwise, because my mind, the way that I'm operate, I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh my gosh, how much do you need to like, you know, nurture these relationships before you finally get turnover, before you know, you make a sale. But you know, what's the saying that you have to like, someone has to get touched like 13 times or something like that before.
Minimum. Yeah.
That's.
So here's the thing though. Here's my.
But that's why you need the system to follow up on it because otherwise there's no one is ever going to follow up 13 times without something telling you that you got to follow up again.
Exactly.
Especially volume.
Yeah. And that's like when we're bringing in hundreds of leads a month, if we don't have a system that's backing that, there's no way. I mean, then I'm just throwing money away. I might as well just save that money and throw 2 more events a year because, you know, then at least maybe I'll be in front of my people. But like if you have a system in place, like for instance, when my leads come in, now we've actually changed it to a new thing that Donny started, which is really cool. But what would happen is the lead would come in. It would then go into my CRM. Once it goes into my CRM, it automatically got texted. That lead would get a text, and then it would ping me or my agents to shoot a phone call. And then it's got all of the tasks of what they need to hit for the next 14 days. Phone call, text, email, so on and so forth. So all we needed to do was go in and finish our tasks and we're done, right? Mm-hmm. We've switched it to more of a list-based follow-up. So rather than a task-based, so like now if they haven't been called within the last day, we just go through that list and we've set those triggers up in our CRM. But what we also switched to that's game changer, and slight plug for Donny on this, is he's got this thing that's like they have a full ISA team that's literally calling. ISA is inside sales agent. Okay. That's literally calling all of the leads immediately when they come in. So like now I don't even need to call them, and I'm getting literally a phone call to my phone when that lead is ready to be looking at properties.
I was just going to touch base on that too.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, you know, a lot of agents are kind of scared of the process of investing into paid marketing because they just don't know what the follow-up process is going to be like. But it's first off, it's a relatively affordable investment. You can start with $1,000. The management fee on top of that is hardly anything on top of that. And it's literally a system to where it's automated. You run the ads. Your leads see the ads. They fill out your form. You collect their information. And from that point forward, we have a system where we actually have the ISA team, which you just touched base on. They'll call the leads for you. And if they're hot and ready to convert, we transfer the call right to you and you take the call and take it from there. So it's literally a proven system from start to finish. All in one solution for agents, so.
Which is really cool. But you know, the point is like no matter what the system is, and that me using that ISA and that system, like I could go hire my own ISA in my company, right? Like, but I'm using that. It does cost me more money, right, per lead, XYZ amount. But at the end of the day, like I realize that system is going to convert the lead at a higher rate than if it were for me or my agents to follow up with, right? Because you and I both know that like sometimes, you know, at least for me, we're having again like hundreds of leads come in. There's gonna be some that fall through the cracks,
for sure.
And so I was trying to figure out how I can, you know, mitigate that and like make sure that I'm not losing those with the systems, right? And so we had this great follow-up system, and then now we're adding this on top of it. So it's like now, like I'm not going to lose a lead. Like the goal is when a lead comes in, they need to be called within the first 5 minutes. Right. If you're doing online marketing, if someone messages you on Instagram, on Facebook, anywhere, and you're not reaching out to them within 5 minutes, you're losing that lead. Yep. Because in today's world, right, like
everything is so automatic. Everything moves so quickly, and you need to be a part of that or you're going to miss out.
Yeah. And so that was like a big issue for me. And that's where you know, people like Donny, people like, you know, that are running these ads, that are doing this, like they have to have those systems to help set up for agents because, I mean, we're busy with our businesses. Yeah. So how are we going to make sure that we stay following up and close the deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when I'm showing properties, I'm not sitting there scrolling on Instagram if someone reaches out to me.
Exactly.
And you brought up a really good point. I'm really glad we touched base on this right now. So our solution that we offer is called Hot Leads, and that's essentially the ISA team that we offer for Cyrus. And the reason this is important isn't so much necessary for startup agents or people on the ground level as agents, because when you're on the ground level, you're doing everything yourself. You have time to expend. But in terms of scalability of your brand and your business, you need to free up your time. You need to create freedom so that you can focus on things that matter. So we created Hot Leads to basically automatically hit those leads, build your freedom, build your time, and so you can focus on things that you need to, and offer this as a solution to create more freedom for that type of agent who's ready to scale. And that's how you get to the next level. You create automation, you create systems, you invest, you pay to play, and you take it to the next level.
Boom. Have you practiced that before?
Nah, right on the spot,
That
baby.
was good. That was really good.
That was really good. Yeah.
I mean, I think that, making things automatic is by far one of the biggest ways to, be successful and, with real estate or with money or anything. Like, you need to have those systems in place, and that's really what's going to help you just
It's
thrive.
the future.
And with
Automation is the
honestly,
future.
like with art tech, like in general, like just that's available for the agent now. You can't tell me that you don't have the opportunity to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for me, like I see like all of these CRMs that are available, and there's enough competition that's making CRMs that the price go down per month per user, right? Like all of these things that are available, like they're set up to help us succeed. Now it's like, do you want to use the system? Like I call it CRM hygiene in like when I talk to my agents, like every time you brush your teeth, you should be looking at your CRM to figure out what you got to do. So like if you're going to brush your teeth in the morning and the night, right, which is what you should be doing if you're not,
So we have a little issue going on here.
you get up in the morning, you check your CRM, you go through it, you make sure that you got everything set up for the day. And then at the end of the night, you make sure, hey, what did I miss? What do I need to carry over? So on and so forth. Same thing with your calendar, right? Like that's just systemizing your business and using the tech to your advantage. If you're paying for a CRM and you're not doing that, I just think you're wasting money. And then like Donnie said, when you're ready to like take it to the next level, it's about like that, pay to play, that ad, buying ads to throw more people in. Again, I have a full like independent brokerage. So like that's where like I'm providing leads for, my team and everything, but also like I think that it's very important for an agent, an individual agent that's working at another brokerage that's doing something that like, hey, when it's time, like I think it's a really valuable asset. And I found a way to capitalize on that, with marketing and ads. And then on the flip side with like reels and what Donnie was saying, organic reach, my organic reach is just growing. What I've been doing is I've just been posting a reel a day.
Yeah.
Like one reel a day. I think what's Instagram telling you to do? Like two reels a day and like one post or something crazy. And
Something
I'm like
that.
And I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's
That'll be overkill.
insane.
Yeah.
So I'm posting like one reel a day and I'm getting great response. I used one that like I just used someone else's I used the audio or whatever. And it was like something very simple. It was a dub of J. Cole saying, "Who told you that?" And it was like I put something along the lines of
I remember
like,
you said that you have to have 20% down to buy a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one. I got 10 leads from that.
Yeah.
From people that were
All right, well, I
following
have that
me.
on my homework for the day.
Exactly. but like it took me literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. It took me I saw the audio. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Someone else had done the same exact one.
Yeah.
All I did was did it in my car before I went into Dick's Sporting Goods to go buy something. And I came out, and as I'm going through the day, someone's like, oh, hey, I'm a veteran. What do I need to do? Blah, blah. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. Right. And then I just followed up and legitimately 10 leads from that are going to probably, let's say 5 of those, I can get them to convert. Like it's a no brainer.
Yeah, there's no reason that whether you're an agent or any other type of business owner, there's no excuse not to be marketing online. It's just you can make a piece of marketing content in 5 minutes, throw it out, and get 10 leads for it. So,
and I think that you said something earlier, Danielle, that was like really important that we could go back to. It's like you're you're talking about your people, and like your people and like the people that follow you. It's like we're talking about you know, your people that know, like, and trust you are different than the people that know, like, and trust me, right? And like, but like your people are gonna like what you put up, no matter what it is. And I think a lot of people, they overthink posting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they overthink it. I think something comes, oh, I don't want to put this up because of this.
I don't like my hair. Oh, I feel a little fat. I'm
Right.
not going to post this right now. What kind of filter can I do?
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
And like,
I think what it comes down to is you just need to do it. Take the stress out of it. No one's going to notice all of the little nuances that you are freaking out about over your own self.
Yep.
Just do it.
And I think that, like, no matter who it is, like you and I, Donnie, I'm sure we all go through this. It's like we all look at it and like, shoot, you know, I could be. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like if you don't ever put it out, it's never going to work. So you might as well just put it out and then just keep putting out more and more content, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to like this is my question for you, Donnie. When it comes to like content, is there too much?
That's a good question. My answer to that is no. There's never too much. It just depends on what your goal is. I would say that the best thing you can do is you always want to define what your goal is with your content. Do you want to educate? Do you want to create value? Do you want to entertain? Do you want to collect leads? Come up with one of those as a mission. Come up with something funny, entertain people. Come up with something valuable if you're trying to create brand awareness. Or if you're trying to collect leads, push people, give them a call to action, say, follow me, say, join my email list, say, check out my website, and build content around your end result. And then
I think that's important to touch on is for people who are just maybe, I know a lot of people are super uncomfortable with the idea of social media, but if you do something, you need to put a call to action on there.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, then you're going to get the information of people who, if you're not comfortable being on social media, well, then maybe you can call them, maybe you can text them, maybe you can email and do whatever mix of your marketing ideas that you have that work for you. But you're not going to do that unless you don't have a call to action, because people could be, you know, sitting out there looking at all your content, but you don't know if they would use you as their realtor without asking.
The overall goal of any piece of content, you post things, a lot of people, they kind of post things for likes. But no, what you're really trying to do is build a community. You're really trying to generate attention and brand awareness. And as long as you're building that community, then whether it's for business or personal, the overall goal will be met as long as you're moving in that kind of direction. So
that's cool. So you had said you got to figure out who you are as, or what did you say? Figure out who you are as a brand or what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, know your audience.
Know your audience, like,
and double down.
So give me like a list of like, okay, let's go from knowing your audience. What's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step to build your online brand?
Great question. Step one.
That's all we do around here.
Great questions. I love it. This is a great podcast. In terms of building a brand and building a business from your brand and generating revenue from that brand you want to create, step 1 through step 10, I'd say step 1 is, I'd say define who you want your business to be. Step 1, define your core, right? Step 2, define who you want to speak to. Define your audience. And then step 3, figure out a way to build a community with the audience you're trying to tap into. So, like I said, creating content that's going to resonate with your type of audience, whether it's educational or value or entertainment. Build things around those building blocks that's going to resonate with your audience.
I think that's so cool. Like, build the community like that rather than like build your following, you're building a community. That's such a powerful statement.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between a boss and a leader, right? It's the same thing.
Yes, sir.
You want to build a community. You don't want to build followers. That's the difference between know, like, and trust factor as well. Once you got a community of people who know, like, and trust you, then you can start to sell to them and generate revenue for your business because they already know, like, and trust you. And then the best way to do that is start building like collecting data from your community. So collecting email lists, collecting SMS. And then once you start collecting all that data, then you can start making sales outside of that. And you can even make sales with that data for free because you've already got their phone numbers. You've already got their emails because they already trust you. And you don't have to pay for ads. You've already got a community. You can send them emails every week. You can send them text messages every week. You can send them entertainment. You can post something on Facebook. You can even build a private Facebook community, send all your community to that private Facebook community, drop pieces of content that's private, that's not on your public profiles, that people who already know, like, and trust you go to that private community, drop that content in there, and then send email blasts to people about the content you just drove to create engagement. And then you're creating this community of people who are highly engaged, know, like, and trust you, believe in what you're doing, and then it becomes way easier to generate sales from that moving forward. So, yeah, that's step one.
I love how
10.
much you love what you do.
I appreciate it.
No, I think it's really awesome because you can tell like that you truly have a passion for it. You really believe in everything that you're talking about, and
Definitely.
that's awesome because like this. I don't know.
It's all systems. It's all system. It's
You like
all
got it
system.
down. You're like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so then go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so for then like everyone who is listening and tuning in, like where can they find you? Like what's your Instagram? Like what's your business? Where can they find you so that hopefully if they want to continue to grow their business with ads and stuff, like they know who to go to. 'Cause
Totally.
Donnie's the man.
All around great guy.
He's like, I'm really handsome. I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram at Donny Doquisa. Donny period Doquisa is my Instagram.
How do you spell?
Yeah, I was
how do
going
you
to
spell
say.
that?
Good question. Good question. We'll have it over the video right here.
No.
At DONNY.Doquisa, DOQUISA. That's my personal Instagram. You can check out my business's Instagram at The Hot Pot Agency. That's digital marketing for real estate agents. And the website for that is thehotpotagency.com.
Killer. Awesome. We appreciate you for coming on.
Yep. Thank you so much
and
for
dropping
joining us
knowledge.
today.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to release this one because this will be great content for
Drop some
everybody.
hot fire today.
Yeah. I found it. Cheers, guys.
Sick. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Cyrus Andre.
At Danny Femmel and at Pac West Realtors.
Keep hustling.
And stay motivated. We want to remind everyone that these opinions are our own and may not reflect those of the association.